Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the second instalment of our table of our predictions. See how we got on this week and prove to everyone pretty much how terrible our football knowledge, prediction skills are. And of course, like I said last week, we're going to keep the league table running alongside. 3 points for correct score, 1 point for correct result, 0 points for losing. And anybody else who's leaving comments regularly, if you guys are predicting regularly, we can include that and have a subscribers or supporters or commenters place on the league table, and you can compete against us. However, let's see how you think we got on. I I mean we know, and Will, what do you think about our predictions from last week?
Yeah, I think, as you said, Leon, it's our predictions from last week probably show that we don't really have very good football knowledge outside of Arsenal and Liverpool. Although I think we both, that was the only two, one of the only couple that we got right. So, yeah, welcome everybody. This is the Red Cartel's predictions episode. So, as Leon mentioned before, we ran through our predictions from last week. As you can see on the screen, we didn't do very well. We didn't really get many results right. But yeah, Leon, anything that kind of stood out to you, kind of showed our lack of knowledge.
Well, I mean, the glaring thing that shows me that, again, to take the mickey out of us, that we don't know a lot, is that you would expect like decent football following fans that know a lot about the Premier League would at least get half of their predictions right, as in correct result, and we didn't. Both of us, we, as you can see on the screen, we got four each correct. Um, and
4 points drawing at the moment, neck and neck. It could be as exciting as last season's title race. I doubt it, but it could be. It's going on at the moment. So, jumping on to this week's predictions, that I have to say, Leon, when I was looking at the some of the games this week, there's quite a few that are really not going to set the world alight. But let's jump in and have a look and have a discussion on what we did. So, Leon, what I want to do is give me your prediction results for Brighton versus Manchester United. What have you gone for, mate?
so, I mean, I'm going to caveat this, not as a I'm trying to escape my own prediction, but I'm going to caveat this with I think United are shit. So, Brighton are going to win 2-0. And what about yourself?
Got 2-0 Brighton. 2-0 Brighton
Yeah.
popping up. Right, I've gone for a 1-1 draw. I think Brighton are a good team, but I still annoyingly, and I need to get this out of my head. I think United are a decent team this season as well, which is so I've gone 1-1 on that one.
What about next one? Crystal Palace, West Ham. What do you think for that?
All right, my prediction here. Again, I think we'll probably go different ways. I think Crystal Palace played well last game. Unlucky to lose. Probably should have got the draw. I'm going to go for a 2-1 Palace win because they're at home.
Yeah, and I've gone with the exact opposite, a 2-1 win for West Ham. Again, not going to caveat it with too much, but my prediction of them finishing fourth has sort of led me to always predicting that West Ham are going to win unless they're playing Liverpool. So,
Yeah, there's going to be a theme around this. There's going to be some teams that we're just always going to predict to win or lose. I'll let the audience decide which teams those might be. But I think we've gone through two of them already. So we got next one along the line. We've got Fulham versus Leicester. Probably not one for the neutrals. But what are you going for, Leon?
I'm going with a turgid 1-1 scrappy game.
Yeah, I think probably last up, if not second last up on Match of the Day. I would go with Fulham Leicester. I've gone for a 1-0 Fulham win, but only because I'm just hoping Emil Smith-Rowe scores. So I think 1-0, but could definitely be a turgid draw.
Yeah.
Next one up is probably the banker of our week. City versus Ipswich at the Etihad. What are you going to go for, Leon?
5-0.
5-0. Yeah, I definitely think for the fantasy football league players, everyone, if they've got Haaland in their team, they're going to be captaining him. He probably is. This is where he's going to stat pad and get his hat trick. I've gone for a slightly more respectable 4-0 to City.
I think that this is a game that has more of a question of how many goals will Haaland score rather than will City beat Ipswich.
Yeah, will Haaland score more or less than 4 goals? I think is a better shout to try and predict than will City beat Ipswich. So I think, I definitely think probably when Ipswich is when Kieran McKenna was looking at the old fixtures, he was probably marking this down as a 0-pointer. Harsh start to the season. Liverpool then City. We got probably also the candidate for the last game on Match of the Day. We've got Southampton versus Nottingham Forest. What have you gone for, boss?
Gone for 1-1 for the reasons you've just stated.
1-1. I've gone for 0-0. I've gone for a 0-0, mate. I think, both sides are going to struggle here, and probably going to be thankful for their draw.
Agreed.
Next up, you got Tottenham versus Everton. Okay, so obviously being an Arsenal fan, a Liverpool fan, the two derbies, obviously Tottenham being Arsenal's derby, Everton being Liverpool's derby. How have we gone and thought about this game? I get you could probably guess before we say it, but Leon, who have you gone for the win and what's the score?
Tottenham 3-1, and you?
I've gone for a Tottenham loss.
Surprise.
Very surprising. Again, 1-0. I've gone Everton 1-0. Even though I've gone for a Tottenham loss, Everton are so dour this season. They're not going to score a hatful. So 1-0 Everton.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think that both clubs are like... I almost can't even bring myself to really talk about it, but Everton are just dire. They're just not good. And Tottenham are like really exciting, but at the same time, I don't know, like really not solid.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to predict which Tottenham turn up, right? They could fire on all cylinders. Son and Maddison could just run the show, or they could have a quiet game and miss 3 or 4 gilt-edged chances.
And then Calvin.
Now, I think the game of the weekend, this one, Aston Villa versus Arsenal. I'll give my prediction now. Surprise, I'm going for an Arsenal win. I've gone 2-1 Arsenal. I think it's going to be a tight game, but I think Arsenal will come through on that one. Get some revenge from last season. So, Leon, what have you gone for, mate?
I've gone for 1-1. I'm not even fully sure, actually, but I have a sneaking feeling that it might be one of them games. I don't know why, but maybe it's because we were talking before it about how crap this Premier League week is of fixtures, and that's supposed to be the big one.
That is a big one. That's a big one, Leon. Like 2 Champions League clubs battling out. Emery versus Arteta. Arsenal need some revenge from last season's defeats. It's got to be the big one, mate. It's got to be a big one.
I'm hyped. I'm so hyped. Aston Villa versus Arsenal. No, but it's the biggest of this week. Like,
gotta be.
Getcha.
Gotta be.
All the other ones are just like, I mean, it's almost like you couldn't make a worse, like, set of games. The more I look at it, the more I'm like, even the Liverpool game, like Liverpool Brentford, I'm like Wolves Chelsea, Bournemouth Newcastle, like Arsenal Aston Villa is at least 2 clubs that are good. I think that's it.
No, I think top four clubs, mate. Going in, but so that will wrap up the Saturday games. Then we're on to Sundays. Bournemouth, Newcastle. What are you going for, mate?
2-0 Newcastle. Myself.
2-0. I got down at 1-1, but I think I need to change that. I've gone 3-1 Bournemouth. I think 3-1 Newcastle. I was meant to go. I'm going 3-1 Newcastle.
3-1 Newcastle. It's a good prediction because they will be missing unless they can't appeal it because of VAR and stuff. I don't think they're not going to be able to get that red card rescinded for.
No, it'll be
like a 3 ban or something. So they're going to be missing, and I don't keep abreast of all Newcastle, but I think the Bentner, no, oh my god, the defender, the German defender, who's Botman. I have a feeling he's injured.
The Dutch defender.
Dutch? Is he Dutch? I thought he was German. Sorry.
I think he's Dutch. If he's not German or Dutch, we'll edit it out, so it's fine.
Yeah, if this made the cut, then one of us was right.
One of us is right, yeah.
I think they might struggle defensively, but it is Bournemouth, isn't it?
It is Bournemouth, mate. They could have their new striker popping up there, mate. But yeah, we've gone 3-1. Wolves, Chelsea.
So I've gone 1-1 because I just think that Chelsea are in utter turmoil. By yourself.
I've gone 3-1 Wolves. Don't know why, but definitely I think Chelsea look poor. Wolves look good against Arsenal. I think Wolves could bring something out here and get that 3-1 win.
At home, on the counter, they could definitely surprise a disjointed Chelsea. I think you might.
Yeah.
You might be right, even though I'm predicting 1-1. I think you're going to be closer to being right.
I think if there's any gamblers watching this, what we've shown you is what not to back. So, back what we've not predicted, and you're probably going to win more times than you're going to lose. So,
yeah, that's sure. Because there's 3 results: win, lose, or draw. And if you just combine both of ours and go, or we pick the same thing, go for one of the other ones, or go for the one we haven't gone for, and you'll be rich.
Essentially, what we've done is we've guaranteed a Chelsea win here. But so that's what we've done here. So thank us later, Chelsea. All right. So if you guys do win, it's because we're terrible at predicting anything. Now we're on to the final game, Liverpool Brentford. What are we thinking, Leon? I'll let you lead on this one as being a Liverpool boy.
So I wanted to go really mad on this one, but my actual prediction is 2-0, and I just think it'll be a calm, comfortable result at home. But Brentford actually always give us trouble, so I nearly went 2-1, but I'm just hoping we keep a clean sheet. What about yourself?
It's a good shout. I've gone 3-1. I've gone 3-1 to Liverpool. I can't see Brentford winning this. I just don't see any other result but a Liverpool win. So hopefully that's going to be our predictions. Hopefully we get a few right. That we've got to get a correct score eventually. If we start to get into the 3rd, 4th, 5th week of the league and we've not got a correct score, guys, you happily slate us because we are poor. But we don't deny it. We don't deny how poor our football knowledge is. But we just love football and we love talking about it. So, guys, if you have your own predictions, whack them in the comments. Let us know how poor our predictions are, and look forward to seeing you all guys or speaking to you guys next week on our next predictions podcast and sharing our results and the league table.
Yeah, and that's I suppose a goodbye from me as well at this point, but I did want to address one thing before we go, which is that there were some people that you were telling me clap back about one of my... It's nothing to do with predictions, everyone, but it's to do with delict. And just so you all know, I have a song. Something rhymes with delict, and it is delict, delict, delict. He is... I won't say it on air, All I'm going to say to you, Man United fans, is come at me, bro.
Okay. Oh well, I'll clip that one up. And just to give the other side, like if you've heard, I think De Ligt's all right. I think he's quite good, but I am willing to back Leon to the hilt on this one, and say I hope that's the case, but I don't know.
We'll
Guys,
see.
it's been an absolute pleasure.
See you later.